The happiness of the drop is to die in the river. Humility is the ornament of a wise man. Habit rules the unrefined. We are at our very best, and we are happiest when we are fully engaged in work we enjoy on the journey toward the goal we've established for ourselves. There are no shortcuts to knowledge. I have no wealth but my heart. The hardest thing to find in life is balance, especially the more success you have, the more you look to the other side of the gate. Man's actions are taken from him and given to someone else. His fate is governed by others. This is the supreme calamity. The world is supported by four things: the learning of the wise, the justice of the great, the prayers of the good, and the valor of the brave. A person must seek knowledge and understanding before ever offering advice or criticism. Medicine is a science from which one learns the illnesses of man. Life is a combination of fate and your own choices. If you love the truth, you must be content with uncertainty. The greatest happiness you can have is to know that you do not necessarily require happiness. Do not be disheartened by what comes your way. Instead, take it as something that has been destined to be part of your journey. Be sure you are right, then go ahead. The soul of a determined man is never free. The first step in the acquisition of wisdom is silence, the second listening, the third memory, the fourth practice, the fifth teaching others. The more you know, the more you realize how much you don't know. Knowledge that is acquired is not secured until it is used and shared. The road to wisdom is not simply being taught the lessons, it is by taking the lessons to heart and changing the way we live our lives accordingly. The knowledge of anything, since all things have causes, is not acquired or complete unless it is known by its causes. To find yourself, think for yourself. The truth is that love smashes into your life like an ice floe, and even if your heart is built like the Titanic, you go down. Happiness is defined by the quality of your thoughts. To know oneself is to study oneself in action with another person. Do not be misled by the fact that you are at liberty and relatively free, that you have the power to govern yourself and regulate your habits. Many are at liberty, but far from free. The most complete gift of God is a life based on knowledge. Life is neither good or evil, but only a place for good and evil. You know that there are some men who get nothing from their studies but knowledge, and there are others who find a darkness in knowledge itself. The first step in the acquisition of wisdom is silence, the second listening, the third memory, the fourth practice, the fifth teaching others. Love is the disposition to be helpful to another person, whatever the cost. Love, then, is identical with the virtue of justice. The soul of a determined man is never free. I have no wealth but my heart. Ignorance leads to fear, fear leads to hate, and hate leads to violence. This is the equation. He who is not impressed by sound advice lacks faith. The science of governing is the most difficult of all sciences. The greatest happiness you can have is knowing that you do not necessarily require happiness. The learned man understands the ignorant, for he was once ignorant himself. Do not be misled by the fact that you are at liberty and relatively free, that you have the power to govern yourself and regulate your habits. Many are at liberty, but far from free. The more intelligent one is, the more men of originality one finds. Ordinary people find no difference between men.